thanks for tuning in to today's Three-Piece Podcast. At Zeus, our mission is simple. We protect people, property, and profits through innovation, teamwork, and an unrelenting drive for excellence. Today, we're recording on-site at Access Holdings podcast studio right here in Baltimore, Maryland. Access Holdings is Zeus's private equity partner and plays a critically important role in supporting our innovation, our technology, and our growth initiatives, including the A2C program. I'm excited to welcome Mike Meridith, a dear friend and CEO of SEI. SEI has been protecting local communities across Nebraska and the Midwest by providing the core four services: alarm, fire, access, and video for more than 50 years. Mike, welcome to the podcast studio.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Scott.
So Mike, we've known each other now for almost 25 years?
Yeah, long time.
And you've had an opportunity to watch kind of my journey. I've had an opportunity to watch yours.
Yes.
But this is the first time you got a behind the scenes look at Zeus and Access Holdings and kind of what we do. Any first impressions?
I'd say one word: wow. The tools that Zeus and Access Holdings has put together is pretty fascinating and exciting. It's kind of data overload. Like we've always had it the opposite way, where we haven't had enough data to have all this data. How to use these tools to help grow our business is exciting.
Yeah, so I share your enthusiasm, and I think you know that because we were so excited to have you and Matt here. And by the way, Matt's going to join us in a little while.
Oh, great.
We're excited because we know the capabilities and the possibilities because we've rolled them out across our existing hubs. We can't wait for the opportunity to do the same at SEI.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I see ways to help improve our business, improve our services, and really take care of our customers. We've always prided ourselves on taking care of our customers and doing whatever it takes to make sure they're happy. I see this data, the tools, and everything that Access and Zeus has there to just make us better at that. And that's really what we want to do. We achieve to be better every day, and this is really going to help in that matter.
Yeah, so as long as I've known you, you've always been committed to excellence and growing your business, not just a little bit each day, but thinking about your business over the long term.
Right.
And that's one of the things that really attracted us to your business is that you and Matt and your team have talked about what the business could look like if you only had some additional tools and resources. I think today your systems are a little limiting, and I'm curious as to if that's true, how they're limiting, and what having new systems and tools might kind of unlock for you.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. You've hit it dead on. As the company has grown and all that, I think the things that we have to continue to invest in our companies. And you start to see the considerable expense when you're upgrading your ERP, your accounting system, and all those type of things. And ours is really far behind. And it's inhibiting us from growing our company, taking care of the customers we have, and adding new ones. And so when I see this technology, the technology advances that Zeus and Access has put together, it's exciting because it will help us grow our business, make us better at what we do, take care of the customers we have, and just continue to strive in this ever-changing world of security that we know by the day changes.
Yeah, maybe now more than ever. I think the changes we've seen together over the last 5 or 10 years are more than any other time in our careers combined.
Yes.
So when we get to that day and we're officially partners and you take on a critically important role of running M&A across an important part of the country and an important part of our build, how do you see these tools as helping you do your job?
Yeah, I think it's fascinating, and I'm really excited for the next step in this. As we've talked over this thing, and we've been very blessed. We had a lot of opportunities, and we talked to a lot of companies. And the more we talked, and the more you and I, we've known each other a long time, and the team that you've put together at Zeus, the comfort level just fit more and more like the right fit. And the more we continue to talk and finally get to this thing, I just know it's the right thing. And I'm excited to tell that story to everybody, and particularly in the Midwest region. We fit a niche that you don't have currently. And I know there's opportunity there, and there's other companies out there that when we have the conversation and tell them the pros and cons of what we were dealing with and the struggles of growing, they're going to look at this and see where Zeus may fit for them as well.
Yeah, so we love that story because we think it'll resonate with people that were in your shoes today and my shoes 4 years ago, because they'll need somebody to guide them through the process of kind of what's possible. Yeah. When we think about the A2C and some of the marketing tools relative to M&A, was there anything that jumped out at you as, boy, that'd be helpful if I walked into a prospect with that information?
Yeah, the data that you have on the companies and the prospective companies to talk to, we really can focus on the ones that fit what we're looking for, fit what we. Without that information, you're just kind of going blind and you're talking to companies. And what you don't want to do is waste people's times. I don't want to waste my time or theirs and say, hey, I talked to them and they're interested, but I'm like, actually, you don't really fit who we are. The data that you have to be able to say, these are the companies that we're looking for that really fit into the Zeus model, into the SEI model, that want to take care of their customers, that want to protect people, property, and profits. And that's really the people you want to help grow this company, those companies, those organizations. We want the best people, the best companies, the best leaders to come in and join us.
Yeah, and I think perfectly stated. And they're going to be joining the SEI team first and foremost.
Right.
And as you continue to expand throughout the region and densify within the markets you're already strong.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about kind of secondary and tertiary markets as being so important in our industry. What are some of the advantages of being part of a secondary market?
Yeah, I really, I've obviously grown up in the Midwest in the secondary markets. I like it because there's not a lot of separation to who you are. People can know you in those industries. Your name can really be a big brand, where in a larger market, it's a little more difficult from that standpoint. I just always thought that was good. There's less competition, which I like. I mean, you can really stand out a lot more, and people will recommend you a lot more. So I'm excited to look into the markets that SEI is already in and branch out to some of the other markets that are in our vicinity and see if we can grow in those areas as well.
Yeah, so there'll be a time at Zeus headquarters, well, you and I will be sitting in the Zeus podcast studio talking about what this looked like once it's completed. And we're not quite there yet, right? This is an unusual opportunity for me, frankly, an exciting one, because we're just a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm curious kind of what's going through your head, and maybe that of your family, as you start to prepare for that next stage of your career. Look, I had my own experience 4 years ago, as you know. We talked about it.
Yep.
What's going on in your head right now?
So it's a little sentimental, but it's surprisingly, the closer I get, the more excited I get. It took a while to wrap my head around as whether this was the right decision or not the right decision. I've been blessed. I'm fortunate to have Matt, and we put a fantastic team together to run the day-to-day of SEI. SEI has been built over the last couple years to not really be a family company, but a company that stands on SEI and not the Meridith family. And so it's really, we have fantastic people that are running the organization, which will help me focus more on the M&A side. So the closer I get, the more excited I get. SEI is not going away. It's just becoming part of a bigger family. And the tools and the capabilities of that bigger family is going to help us take care of our customers, grow our customers, take care of our employees better, and grow our employees and everything in the base. So it's just a win all around. There's no negative to what we're doing.
So I love that. And again, one of the many things I love about your business is that you began to professionalize it long before this process.
Right.
You talked about Matt and the rest of your leadership team being strong, and more. You've got a strong leadership team, which will give you the ability to go out and do some of the things that you want to do, knowing that the business is in great hands. You have nearly 200 employees today. And in just a couple of weeks, we're going to be standing in front of those employees talking about this new partnership. What do you think that's going to be like for you and for the employees?
It's going to be a little emotional, and there's probably going to be some shock. And so as we prepare for that day, I'm looking forward to explaining, and I believe they're going to see the excitement in my face when we talk about this, is that it's going to be better, not worse. But embracing change is hard for people, including myself. It takes some of that. I call it the 80-20. I'm 80% excited, 20% nervous, and that's okay. That's what a new challenge is, and it's supposed to be. And I always use the line of, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So doing something different is a little uncomfortable, but you have to embrace that change and move forward. So I think in the end, it's going to be really, really good. I think when people understand who Zeus is, the platform behind SEI, the SEI name's is going to be better, not worse. They're gonna involve, and they're gonna love what they see.
Yeah. So Zeus's core values are people first, better together, grit, and integrity, and they fit pretty well with SEI's core values. Tell me about those and how you see them fitting together.
Yeah, they really do. Get it, wants it, celebrate it. I mean, they really just fit into who we are and what we do. And we've tried to with going through the EOS management system of trying to get that through and get those core values down to our employees, and they've really embraced that. And Zeus's really do fit that way. And being better together, I've heard you say that over and over again. And then as we went through this process, I kept thinking of that, and I kept thinking of that, and it really is true, because some of the things we're capable of doing, bringing Zeus on, enhances it. It enhances our national accounts. It enhances our ability to take care of customers with the technology and things of that nature. So we're going to be better together. We're going to take care of our customers better. And our people are going to see the tools that we have are going to be much better than the ones they're using today.
Yeah, and what I love is Zeus will be better as a result of this partnership, and all of our other hubs will be better as part of this as well, because we also believe in best idea wins.
Yeah.
And I've had the pleasure of being in your office, your new office, which is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And your last office as well, which is very nice also.
Yes.
But I've had the opportunity to see the types of things that you've done with your business and through our relationship at Net One.
Right.
And I know that we're going to take some of what you've built and what you've done and the processes you and your team have put in place, and we're going to actually take them and we're going to spread them across the rest of our network. And there's going to be some things across the rest of our network that we may spread back into SCI, where we truly are better together because everybody wins. And you're right, it starts with our employees and then our customers. And I think we both agree, happy employees, happy customers, and everything else basically takes care of itself.
Yeah, this relationship is very comfortable. You and I have known each other a long time. You've built a fantastic team working with Paul and Brandon. I've got to know them over the last couple of years. It's just really, it's really comfortable. It's really easy, and I can see the vision of where this is going to go. And we've moved up from 41 to 11 in the SDM 100 overnight, and I want to continue to make that growth more each and every year. And I'm excited for the challenges and ready to take them on.
Yeah, so I'm excited for those challenges too, and also ready to take them on. And that, like you, I'm a little competitive.
Yeah.
And we're number 11 today. We've got number 10 in sight.
I like it.
And we'll go hunt them down together.
Yes.
And continue to win by providing great products and services, making sure that our employees and our customers are happy, and really delivering on our collective mission of protecting people, property, and profits. Mike, I could not be any happier that you're here today.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the trip to Baltimore. Thanks for being part of our podcast today. And look forward to seeing you in Omaha in just a few weeks.
Yep, excited to get it going. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Matt, welcome to the remote version of the Three-Piece Podcast Studio here at Access Holdings office in Baltimore, Maryland. We're thrilled to have you.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah. So, Matt, give us a brief introduction, kind of introduce yourself to the Three-Piece community, who you are, how you arrived here, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great to be here. I've been currently the president of SCI. I have been with them for about 12 years now, in some different capacities along the way, and working with Mike and the team, and continuing to build on the team that we've had. And it's been been a great journey. A lot of changes along the way, and a lot of growth, which is exciting. And especially as we sit here and look at what is that next phase of growth and where we go next, and opportunities for the team and our customers and everything, it's an exciting time.
Yeah. So Mike literally grew up in the alarm industry. Yep. You didn't. Tell us your journey, your path to the industry.
Yeah, so my path a little different. I've been in the industry for about 20 years. I was currently about 20 years ago, looking for some different opportunity, and my dad was actually in the industry, and so it's still definitely an industry that gravitates and just pulls you in one way or another, and family's a big part of that. And so it was a good opportunity. It's been thought that, hey, you like the technical side. I was a little bit more on the sales side back then, and it was a great fit, and fell in love with it, and just the constant change and evolving of the industry and where it's going. It's just been an exciting time, and obviously 20 years later, still here and looking forward to many more.
So you joined SCI 12 years ago?
Joined SCI 12 years ago. Previous to that, had spent time with a larger integrator company, as well as on the manufacturing side of the business as well.
Gotcha. And been president for?
President for the last year, became Chief Operating Officer back in 2018. That's where I took over a lot of the day-to-day operations at that point, and then more recently to president.
Got it. So I'm curious, over your first 12 years, how you've seen SCI evolve, and then we'll take it to what maybe the next 3 or 4 years could look like. But let's start with the first 12. What's that journey been like?
Yeah, so the first 12. So it's as you look at the different stages, we had a great employee base, we had a great customer base. I would say one of the things that we noticed earlier on is we had a lot of people doing a lot of things, not necessarily clarity. It was do whatever it takes to get the job done and take care of the customer, which is a great philosophy to have. But in order to continue to grow and scale and get to where we all wanted to go, it was time to put in some more role definitions and put in additional processes and look at the reporting and making sure the numbers get bigger, we've got to have more tools and things to help us other than just a sense of what's going on. And so evolving along that, and then especially over the last about 3 years here, we embarked on the EOS journey, and that's been key. And I would say that big missing piece just to get us over the top again, and really formalize from a leadership team, management, improve our communication amongst each other, amongst the rest of our employees, making sure that we're not working on the busy things or the loud things, but the important things and what's truly going to move the business forward every quarter, every year, and just really make sure that we're all aligned. And so that's really, I would say, culminated a lot of the last 12 years has been that part of it, and I think really set us up to be successful, not only where we got here, but also as we enter this next phase.
Yeah, so let's talk about the next phase for a minute. I assume at some point Mike walked into your office or you walked into his and he said, hey, I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about selling the business, partnering with another organization. What was your reaction then, and how has that evolved till now?
Yeah, so the reaction then is it wasn't completely surprising. Just anytime I think you have a business and a family business and next generation, it's it's always one of those things that's out there is when something changes, especially something as significant as that. Sure. And I know it was hard for Mike as they were having some conversations, and it was more of, hey, nothing's been decided, but there's some conversations happening. Just wanted to at least bring you in and what's going on. Nothing we need to do, but I think a lot of it too is Mike and I have just truly partnered together in so many things over the last number of years that it was all right. Well, we've gotten here together, and we're going to continue to go forward, together as well, and start looking at what's next and the details of all right, who do we bring in? When's that time come? And so then we had a larger meeting with the rest of Mike's dad, Sid, our founder, and Kristen, basically the other shareholders, and myself, and sitting down, and was really then decided that all right, this is going to be the direction forward. And so it's definitely an emotional time. I see it a little bit differently of not being family, not being one of the shareholders, so a little different view on it. And it's one of those things that, hey, this is where we're at. This could also be a great opportunity for us, and because we know there's some challenges, and some of the challenges we have with what it's going to take to get to the next level, and everything from the technology side, and the systems, and where does AI incorporate in, and just the continued scale up. I mean, there's a lot out there, and so as we were sitting down, like, hey, how do we use this as an opportunity to look at what maybe some things that we wanted to do to the business that we couldn't, and how do we take advantage of this and make sure, hey, we want to find a partner that can help us accelerate in those areas. We feel that we've got a lot of things going well. We feel that we have some things that, hey, we need some help with. So let's find a partner that can help, keep us maintaining what we're doing well, add on some things that we're not, and challenge us in some ways, and really, look at what we can do possible. It's a great team behind us. And so a nice opportunity, exciting opportunity to look at what opportunities are now down the road for people to continue to step up to, new opportunities. It's exciting.
Yes. I love the fact that both, you and Mike talk about change and talk about opportunities as being so positive and so important to the growth of the business. And you guys have done that over the past couple of years in particular, of ensuring that you're not going to be a run-of-the-mill security company, but you're going to be a more sophisticated business. And you've put some tools and resources in place to allow you to do that. EOS is one of them. But professionalizing the business has been really important. I'd love you to tell me a little bit about your team and how you've done that.
Yeah, so it's been a slow process, and don't mean slow in a negative way. It's just we want to make sure, again, with a business that's been around for over 50 years, there's a lot of longevity that we have with our team, and it's great. They're a big part of the reason that we've been successful and has gotten us here. And so we want to make sure that, hey, how do we not alienate that in the process either? Because these are important people to us, and will be continue to be important people to us. So we have to manage a rate of change, because people sometimes can only absorb things so fast. And so we've looked at some different areas. And, fortunate, about 6 years ago, we acquired a company called Zeus Security over in Des Moines. Chad over there was the president of that organization. That we were fortunate enough for him to join our team. Again, just understands the business from a different level, having been that role and understanding all the different parts and pieces and how everything works together. And so we've taken people like that and brought in a formal CFO about 2.5 years ago. And again, just to continue to put the right pieces in place in order to get us to the next level. And then underneath that, the team just continues to level up, and, good people attract other good people, and, continue to associate, a lot of that progress and things that we've made. It's not things that, all that, Mike has done, I have done. It's just, we've got some good people around us that help with that. And so it's supporting the team and letting them grow it.
Yeah, one of our values, right? Better together.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
As you think about the next phase, right, as being part of the Zeus family of companies, how do you see that as benefiting SEI and benefiting your employees and benefiting your customers? Because that's what this is all about, right?
100%. And that was a big focus as we're going through this. Is our goal since we set out, initially was, we need to do right by our employees, do right by our customers, and do right by our shareholders. And that was really the primary goals as we go through this. And absolutely feel that we found, the right solution for that, because there's a lot of us that want to continue to be here for another 10 years, 20 years, and be able to share in the excitement of continuing to watch this grow and build on the success. I think there's a lot of people that have a lot of pride in and rightfully so, pride in what's been built. So how do we continue to take that legacy forward? And I think it's exciting to look at how do we take a biggest part of the foundation, which is our people, our customer base, take the way that we're supporting them today. But now what can we do with bolting on some additional technology, some more customer facing tools to enhance what they're doing, help make it more easy for our team, incorporate in as AIs everywhere. How do we use that in a positive way? Not to reduce any of the things that we're doing or reducing headcount, but how do we go and make it more impactful for the people that are doing these today, to where they can just do their jobs better, and maybe not do some of the things that they don't enjoy doing, so they can focus more on the customer facing side. And just even from our management team, better ways to manage the business, that we've gotten to the size and scale that with the tools, technology, data that we have, it's very hard to do. It can be cumbersome at times trying to manage the teams and projects and all those things that are out there. So it gives us a good opportunity to continue to do that. A partner to help also with some lessons learned and help along the way in those. And obviously, to be able to look at some areas where we want to continue to grow and market penetration in our existing markets and look at new markets. Again, we've got the team in place. We've got the foundation. How do we go and share that with others, get some better ideas from other people as well, and just continue to grow?
Yeah, terrific. So we just came out of a 2-hour session with the A2C. A lot there.
Overwhelming,
right?
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
In a positive way.
For sure. That's exactly how I felt the first time I saw it, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and the fifth time. And truth be told, it's just starting to slow down for me. I'm curious if there were 1 or 2 takeaways that you have, having just come from the A2C.
I would say the biggest takeaway that had from it is, as we were going through the process and talking with more of your team and looking at, we had our list of, hey, here's what we're looking for in a partner. Here's where we need help. And then as we go, there's a lot of trust involved in that. And you try and have all the conversations to make sure, hey, are we finding the right partner? Are they just saying this, or do they actually do this? And trying to vet that. I think the more and more that we've gone in, and this is a good example of that, it's proving that this is there. It's a need of ours, and it's there. We have all these wants, and we have our wish list. So much of it around reporting of how we can look at, hey, what customers are we not serving well? How do we go and find new clients that are in need of services? Those are things that is challenging today with some of the tools and that we have in place. And what you all just showed back there, it validates what we were expecting, and from hearing those conversations, that just gets exciting for, okay, now we're going to have the tools to do this. That's not going to be so labor intensive on our side. We don't want to spend all of our time putting together reports. We want to spend our time, give us the information. What do we need? Give us the information, and so that we can go and act and execute on it. And so it's an impressive foundation for us to be able to build off.
Yeah, look, it's aptly named, right? The Acceleration Center, because it will provide that acceleration for us to all grow our businesses collectively. So I'm super excited about it as well. As you think about this broader partnership of Zeus and Access Holdings as part of the SEI family, how does that land on you? Like, how do you feel about being part of something bigger?
It is exciting, and we're probably using that word a lot right now, but it really is. And as Mike and others have talked about, it is an emotional time. There's a lot of things in play, and it's a good chance to take pause and celebrate a lot of things that have happened up to this point in the success. But then as you get further along in the process, you don't let go of that, but you also start shifting forward and looking at maybe more of what's possible now that wasn't before. And I think that's, the key thing. And for us, we look at it as we were, doing different evaluations. I mean, a big part for us, you've talked about some of the core values before from a Zeus side. We look at, our core values of desire to learn, and we really compared our core values against the partners that we were looking to move forward with. And Zeus hit those. And you talk about desire to learn. I mean, that's just been the curiosity that exists amongst the Zeus team is huge. And as you mentioned, not only us being able to contribute ideas, but also even more so of how do we get to be able to take some ideas and learn ourselves from others and others' success. Enjoyable people who care. Another big core value, and the team that's been built and around us to be able to help support us is huge, and a great group of people that want to help. And so that was a key thing. And then the do it, own it, celebrate it. Again, how do we share in the success together? How do we also hold ourselves accountable and giving some of the tools to better do that, but in a positive way? And how do we make our people reach the potential that they want to hit? And so as we looked and evaluated all those things, just like we do when we're looking to hire a new employee, looking at those core values, does this make a good fit? And this stacked up. And as we looked at it, it was a perfect fit for that. So it's encouraging. It's it's comforting to know that, hey, this is going to be a good migration. There'll be some changes along the way.
Sure.
But there's also, we know that a lot of things that aren't going to change. We have a good business today. Again, that foundation's in place. So let's look for some good ideas and how we move forward.
Yeah, so I think the word exciting, you're right, is used a lot, but we all feel it in this room. We often talk about it not as the finish line, but as a starting line for that next chapter of growth and that next chapter for career opportunities for SEI, for all of your employees, and for all of your customers.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Matt, it's been great having you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. I look forward to connecting soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Scott.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode of the 3Ps Podcast. Thank you to both Mike Meridith and Matt Vellek for joining us and for sharing your perspectives and takeaways for today's visit to Access Holdings office. Your clarity on M&A, operations, and the way programs like the A2C can accelerate growth gave our listeners a lot to think about. Thanks also to Access Holdings for hosting us in Baltimore this week and for all they do to support operational excellence across the network. At Zeus, we know protecting people, property, and profits takes more than just great products. It takes great leaders and strong partners to help us move forward every day. Great leaders like Mike Meridith and Matt Vellek. If you like this episode, please subscribe, like, and share with your team. And tune in for more conversations with the leaders shaping the electronic security industry. I'm Scott Elkins, and thanks for listening. And remember, at Zeus Fire and Security, we're better when we're together.